Hey guys, today we are going to perform the CGR practical second, which is drawing a line using a DDA algorithm. So basically, DDA stands for Digital Differential Analyzer. Using this algorithm, we can put pixel by pixel and draw a line from one point to another. To do that, we have some 7 steps, which is the procedure for this DDA algorithm. So first of all, for performing the DDA algorithm, we need to take the 4 inputs from the user, which is for the 2 points, which is starting and ending point, x1 and y1 and x2, y2. The only condition is that the x1 and x2 should not be seen and y1 and y2 should not be seen. Once this condition is satisfied, we will move to the step 3. So step 3 is to calculate the dx and the dy. So dx is calculated by x2 minus x1 and the dy is calculated by y2 minus y1. Once we calculate the dy and dx value, we are going to compare its absolute value. So if the absolute value of dx is greater than or equal to the absolute value of dy, then the step variable will be initialized with the value of absolute dx, or else the step variable will be initialized with the value of absolute dy. After that, the x increment will be initialized with x divided by step, and the y increment variable will be initialized with dy divided by step. After that, the x variable will be initialized with x1 and y will be initialized with y1, and then we'll iterate a loop which will increment the value we have been calculated for x and y increment, which will increment the value after each iteration and will put the pixel according to it. So now let's perform this in program. So now we are going to perform this practical programmatically. First of all, we have to include the header files, conio, graphics.h, then the main function, then the graphic driver as detect, graphic mode. Then we are going to initialize the variables which will be needed. So first of all, the counter, dy, dx, x1, x2, y1, y2, y, x, x increment, y increment, and step. These are the variables which will be needed in this program. So let's get the input for then we are going to accept the input. Then we are going to initialize the graph. Let's calculate the value of dy and dx. Dx is equal to x2 minus x1 and dy is equal to y2 minus y1. So now here we need to initialize the step. For that we have a condition, as we have discussed the algorithm. Absolute of dx, if absolute of dx is greater than or equal to absolute of dy, then the value of step will be absolute dx, or else the value of step will be absolute dy. So now let's calculate the values for x increment and y increment. X increment equals to dx divided by step, and y increment is equal to d5 divided by step. Then now we need to initialize the x and y variable. We'll initialize both the variables with the first coordinates. Then we'll need a for loop to put pixels one by one. So for that we are going to use the counter key. Here we are going to increment the x with the x increment value which we calculated, and y with the y increment value. For pixel I'm going to select the color white. We are done with the program. Now let's run the program. Just a second. I have declared the xy twice. Make sure you correct it with dx. So for now I'm going to give the inputs for the coordinates. For example 100. As you can see, the line has been drawn pixel by pixel. So this was the DDA algorithm. Thanks for watching.